Mike, it looks like the season's getting away from you guys. How do you plan on getting back on track? And, I can say with conviction um, that the Miami Dolphins organization is working diligently and in addressing the adversity, and I think the guys are doing a great job of doing their jobs, and everyone is in good spirits, and we will continue to work diligently in improving our play. And that is where we are at right now, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I wasn't there for the post-game reaction Monday night. I had a kid Monday morning. I was distracted. Also had a hockey game that night. I still watched the game, at least a good portion of it, but I was just too tired and beat to even sit on a microphone and try and find words to describe what is happening to this team right now. I mean, this is Wednesday. This is typically the pregame show that I do for the Miami Dolphins. But I'll be honest with you. What the fuck's the point? Nobody wants to hear about it anymore. No one's checking for Dolphin content. I feel terrible for the people where their living is based on reporting on the Miami Dolphins. Because, take a look around. No one gives a fuck anymore. I'm making this video just for myself at this point, because I'm laying my balls on the table regardless. I want to talk about this because it's a team that I've watched for a long time, and I just have some thoughts. Because I have went on record and I've praised Mike McDaniel up and down, through the roof, through even the bad times. I was the one defending the pass plays on 3rd and short. I was defending that. But I'm at the point where it's worn off. I'm starting to question it. Because, look, obviously the offense was dedicated to making Tua Tagovailoa as good as he could be. And that's cool. But how is a guy so smart and so offensive-minded, an offensive genius, if you will, but he cannot simplify the offense enough to at least be somewhat efficient? I'm not saying they got to score 35, 40 points. Put up 20. Score a touchdown before the game's already over. They can't do it. I mean, I just sit there and think of like Jets fans and Bills fans, Patriots fans even, just watching the Dolphins and just enjoying the collapse of this team, because that's what's happening. It's a collapse, and like where do we go from here is really where I'm at right now. Because obviously in my head I'm thinking Chris Greer built this thing all wrong. All right, this team was built like a fucking basketball team. You tried to get these superstars in, you signed the big names, and you forget the trenches. You forget the bronze. And I can't believe I didn't see this coming, because now that I actually have time to sit and see the failure happen in front of me, how did we not see it coming? Think about it. Think about back when you first started watching football and what made the NFL the sport that you liked to watch the most. Because for me personally, I think about guys like Ray Lewis in the trenches, stopping everything. Zach Thomas, undersized guy, but still gets his head in there and makes plays. I think about Ricky Williams, Tom Brady orchestrating an offense. It's like a chess match. I think of linemen smashing into each other, physical fucking play, the team that can win in the trenches is likely going to win the game. And the Miami Dolphins are a team that has not been built to do that. They're a team that is built to just get all cutesy-wootsy on you. Oh, you guys want to hit? We're just going to go around you. All right, we're going to use our 5'8" receivers and constantly just find a way to avoid any physical confrontation by any means necessary. And it's over for that shit. The rest of the league has seen through it. And we're losing to teams like the Titans, which, don't get me wrong, the Titans got some dogs, but, you know, the Dolphins going into this year were looked at as a team that should be able to compete in the AFC. They're not close. I don't give a fuck if Tua is playing or if he's not playing. And that's another thing. Like, where do we go? Because let's say Tua does come back. I mean, unless he does anything other than ball the fuck out, blow our minds, and bring the Dolphins to the playoffs, which the odds of that are just puny. Because you gotta think, this is the easy part of our schedule. We haven't even gotten to the games that we're supposed to lose yet. So, good fucking luck, Tua. And not to mention, if he gets hit again, I mean, I'm scared he's going to bump into someone running out onto the field and blood's going to start coming out of his ears. Probably a poorly timed statement. Listen, I love Tua, but I don't know. How can you go forward with Tua as the quarterback with just knowing the uncertainty? I get it. The concussions, they're scary looking. But he's a grown-ass man. He can make these decisions for himself. I'm not calling for the guy to retire because he's a grown man. He should do what the fuck he wants. I'm sick of the fucking ESPN and the NFL Network and these people trying to act like they care. At the end of the day, we get it. The reason you fell in love with football is because it's a physical sport. You hit each other. That's what happens. You know what comes with that as a grown-ass man. You know what comes with that. You might get your bell rung. You might get knocked the fuck out. And at the end of the day, he's making millions and millions of fucking dollars. So, you know, I might lose some people for this, but I don't feel bad. I mean, I don't feel that bad. I don't want to see the guy get hurt. I want to see him make the right decision for his family. But if he continues to go out there and make that decision for himself, then that's going to be what it's going to be. But as for the Miami Dolphins as an organization, you have to bring a quarterback in that can take a hit. I mean, the other night when the Bills were getting blown out by the Ravens, Josh Allen got fucking creamed by like a 368-pound lineman. I mean, shit, if I got hit like that, I would have been looking like Squidward off that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob's house grows on top of him and he's just like flattened with the road. You would have had to peel me off of that field. But nah, he popped up, he got back in the game. Albeit, I think he probably had a concussion there. I really do. He didn't get up there for a second. I bet you he was seeing stars. But, fuck. I mean, what do the Dolphins do? You can't continue to do this. You can't continue to be cutesy-wootsy. I mean, these practices that no one's hitting each other in practice. They let the players have too much control. I bet you they don't do shit. Tyreek Hill and Waddle not practicing all offseason? You gotta be fucking kidding me. It's like they're running the shit like a basketball team. So, shit, I got it off my chest. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to get it off my chest. Now, how do we fix it? They're probably not going to fix it. Listen, the way I look at it right now, if we're staying in the moment, let's just see what happens. All right, let Tua come back from his injury and just give him the chance. If he could blow our fucking minds and make it happen, and all of a sudden all of this is forgotten. But that's not the likely outcome. But I'm not living off the basis of likely outcomes. Let's just see what happens. But I will say, if I'm the owner, Stephen Ross, Chris Greer's out of here no matter what. All right. Mike McDaniel, you're not out of here yet, but I'm fucking looking at you a little funny. What's going on here, coach? You got to get these guys. Where's the balls on this team? Where? Because I've yet to see it. It's all speed, maneuver. Let's avoid the confrontation. You can't do it in the National Football League. They tried to make a mockery of the game of football, and they're getting exactly what they deserve. Because that's what they try to do. They try to outsmart the game. The football gods are punishing the Miami Dolphins for their wrongdoing. And that's what happens when you have a team full of outliers. You end up an outlier. You have a coach who's an outlier. Receivers, small. Quarterback, small. Linemen, can't block. Tight ends. Running backs, small. Defense has been fine. I mean, they've been all right. I can't really complain about the defense. They haven't been fantastic. They've been all right. You got to get a quarterback. If this thing doesn't turn around, you have to get a quarterback. And I was slamming my fists on the table for Tua since day one. Listen, I'm a man, I'll admit it. I'm starting to feel like I was wrong on that. And not even due to the talent. Obviously, he's talented. But are we really going to go into another year hoping that he doesn't get hurt again? When on average, when he starts a season, he's hurt by like week 3 or 4? You can't do it. You can't run a team this way. And something's got to give. You got to go get an actual backup or something. Something. Listen, I'm looking at Cam Ward out of the University of Miami. If the Dolphins can somehow get their hands on him, I'd be happy. I was a hater of Shedeur Sanders from Colorado, but I'm warming up to him. I think he's got an attitude problem that probably needs to be addressed, but there's talent there, so possibly looking at that. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know if there's a fix coming. I just know that it's all falling apart right now. So where's it going to go from here? Dolphins, Patriots game. That's right. I was supposed to talk about that. We're probably going to get fucking creamed. So expect it. But if they do win, I mean, I'll be happy. Just fucking win something. I don't know. All right. Thanks for listening.